What's up, YouTube? Tiffany Stacy here, and I'm back. And as you can see, I have a new lighting system here. I always wanted a ring light, so I am so happy I have one now to light this beautiful skin. Anyway, today's video is going to be about 5 reasons why it's okay to be single. Now, I know that there's a lot of single people out there, including myself, and it can sometimes be really tough to be single because in society, society puts pressure on you to feel like you have to be in a relationship in order to validate your existence, but that's not true. And so I felt compelled to share some of my tips on why it's okay to be single. So tip number 1 is, and this is a huge one. So tip number 1 is that you get to know yourself a lot better when you're single. Now I can think of the person that I was at age 20, and I'm 31 now, and you change so much during those years. You date different people, you figure out what your likes and dislikes are, and you also just kind of get to know yourself and figure out who you are as a person. And I've learned that the person and the people I dated at age 20 is definitely not the people I would date at age 31. And it's just, with me, I've learned that there's little things about people that I realize that, I like as a 31-year-old. And one of those things is, I think I really want someone that is kind, very nice, and, of course, someone I'm attracted to, but that's big because there's a lot of mean people out there, a lot of mean, women and men too. So, anyway, also, tip number 2 is that this is piggybacking off of 1, is that you become the best version of yourself. And as I said, you only figure these out by spending time alone and figuring out what you like. Some of the things I can think of that I've changed, 1 is that I'm into health and fitness, and this isn't something that I've always been into, but over the course of the last couple of years, I've really gotten into getting in shape and eating the right kind of things. And that's something that I look for in another person. I want them to be kind of into the health and fitness, and they don't have to be obsessed with it, but they just have to be aware that, you want to do your body right. You don't want to be out there just going crazy and drinking and smoking and all this other crazy stuff. In moderation, though, let me put it that way. So, tip number 3 is that it's better to be alone than in bad company. That's a quote that I always like. I always refer to that when you feel lonely as a single person. Sometimes. And it occurs pretty well. I wouldn't say often, but there's times when you realize that, I wish I had someone to do this or that with, and that's part of the process. I think people are so obsessed with not being by themselves that it makes them feel uncomfortable to even think about it. But it comes with the territory. But that's why I go back to, you got to have things that you're involved in. Like with me, I love to read. I have so many, I do photography, I have a small business, and I have so many things going on that sometimes I don't always realize that I'm by myself. And another point, I notice that when I do things by myself, I always end up meeting people when I'm out. So you're not, as long as you look like you're a friendly person, people are going to talk to you and kind of keep you company if they see that you're by yourself. And actually, more than likely, I've noticed that when I am by myself, people are more likely to speak to me than if I'm in a group. Because, being in a group is a little bit more intimidating. So you're never actually really alone. And this gives you a chance to meet people in activities that you might not have met otherwise. So I always feel like you should keep your options open. Don't think that, if you go somewhere, you're going to be by yourself. I went to restaurants by myself, and, I end up chatting it up with like the waitress and, kind of hitting it off with them, or, so it just, you end up meeting people, and, you end up finding, other people that are into the same things that you are. So point number 4 is you don't have to answer to anyone. You don't have to get approval from anyone. So I'm really big on being in relationships with people that are controlling. Like, that is like number one pet peeve of mine. I hate when people think that they can control you in relationships, or they try to like mold you into this certain kind of person. I actually met a guy a few years ago that he was a little apprehensive about getting involved with me because he felt like I should be more submissive. Yeah, he actually used the word submissive. And so I knew it wasn't long before we would probably go our separate ways, because I'm a pretty I'm very independent, and I can think for myself, and I don't really like when people try to tell me what I need to be doing. Like, shoot, you deal with that as you grow up. You don't have to deal with that as an adult. You don't have to deal with people telling you what you should and shouldn't be doing. Like, what is this? So I'm really into just being this independent person. And I know that sometimes the independent woman, there's negative connotations with that, but that's not what this is. This is just me being a free thinking person and being in charge of my life and kind of figuring out who I want to be. So point number 5 is that another reason that it's okay to be single is that sometimes you're just not emotionally ready to be involved with people. I believe in doing the work on yourself before you get involved with yourself, which goes back to point number 3, is that you need to always strive to be the best version of yourself. And I feel like with me, some of the situations that I've been in, I think that I got involved with those people because, of course, as I was saying, loneliness and just feeling like I needed to be with someone. And it's just I knew it wasn't right. So now that I've been single for a few years and I've been able to just work on myself, I feel like I'm in a better space emotionally, and I feel like I can handle being with someone at this point, whenever that will be. But there's no rush. I'm willing to wait. I think the best things come to those who wait. So you have to just wait, but have fun and work on yourself. Don't wait and just wait and then be miserable. It just doesn't work. So I hope that you got something out of this video. I am always involved in stuff, and but that doesn't mean that I don't feel like I shouldn't. I don't feel lonely. I do. But the best thing is just to continuously be busy and just work on yourself, and that person will eventually show up. I believe the best way to meet people is just through happenstance, and just by going through your daily routine and your life, and then that person just appears. So I'm not into this whole trying to search for people. And before I close, I just want to, I know that the big thing now is online dating. I've done that. It's not for me. It's not for everybody. I know that a lot of people will swear by it, and that's fine for them. For me, I didn't feel it was right for me when I tried it, because I'm the type of person, I like to see the person in all aspects of life, just, not so much in the dating setting, but just seeing them just go through life like, you know, like say for example, you see someone at work, and you know, over the course of weeks and months, you get to see them in different elements, and there's just something about that, seeing that person in different situations and kind of getting a vibe about them, is like, I feel like the best way to get to know someone, instead of being in like this dating situation and they are doing everything like perfectly. I remember there was this guy I dated. I met him offline, and I mean, he was okay. But he did everything like you're supposed to do. You're supposed to, you know, pay for the dinner, and like he was nice. But I did see him in different situations, and I'm like, I can't. He was very. He wasn't very assertive, and me, I'm the type of person, I like someone that's assertive, that can be by themselves and handle their own selves in certain situations. And if I feel like I have to kind of step in and kind of be the assertive one in situations, then yeah, that's just not going to work for me. So those are my reasons for why you should be okay with being single. I hope you got something from it. So stay tuned. I got plenty of videos coming up, all different kinds of things. And I want to thank all of you for watching my last video. I was very pleasantly surprised that few people had commented and liked my video. It's always encouraging to know that people are still watching and interested in what I have to share. So I'll see you all next time. All right, bye.